If you guys have played MLB The Show 24 in the last 3 days that it's been out for early access, you guys know that Team Affinity has been a huge grind to do, and there is actually a strategy that some people, and maybe even a lot of people, are overlooking. Now, I was watching a GomesDaLegend video, I think yesterday or the day before, on ways to grind Team Affinity fast, and he mentions that if you go into the Team Affinity program here, I'm currently grinding NL East because I already finished the NL Central, and he mentions that the vouchers are kind of lower than they have been in years past, so doing something like Showdown where you usually get a voucher isn't really worth it because of how little you get. And I agreed with that until I actually went into Showdown for Team Affinity, and it's actually a little different than it was last year. So if we go into it here, I'm going to move my mic closer. So usually the way it worked was that you grinded through the whole thing, and at the end here you would get a Team Affinity voucher. But the thing is, if we go back here, every other boss, you're getting a voucher. So if you look back at it, 2, 3, 4, you are getting 4 vouchers for doing a Team Affinity Showdown grind. And I did one last night when I got home from work, and it took me roughly half an hour. That's really not that bad considering you are getting, let's look at it here, 8,400 plus 2,800, that is 11,200 Team Affinity points. I believe that's correct, if I'm doing the math correctly. Yeah, I think so. And considering it only takes half an hour, I'm not saying this is the showdowns are the only thing you need to do, but they are an easy way to get another pack along the way if you have a couple hours to grind, but or maybe you're already done with Conquest, maybe you don't want to play Conquest, and you also don't want to hop into online modes just yet. This is one of the ways you can do it. And in case you haven't played it yet, I'm going to do a full run through right now on how to do the Showdown. So before we even get started here, just to make it very clear, you are facing, at the very end, Billy Wagner. So you're gonna be facing a lefty, which means you want to stack the lineup with a lot of switch hitters or righties, both of which that probably have a preference or a lean towards mashing left-handed pitching. But if you haven't played a Showdown before, what these red squares mean is that these are all mini bosses leading up to the ultimate boss. Because in some Showdowns, you have them where there are blue squares where you can fail them and you have a chance to redo them. But with these red ones, if you fail them or if you don't complete them, you have to start over. Now, granted, it's a $500 or 500 stub fee, so it's really not the biggest deal in the world if you do fail, but if you're trying to make the most of your time and currency, you really don't want to fail these. Now, granted, they are also mostly on Veteran or All-Star, especially with these Team Affinity ones. They're usually not the most difficult in the world, but you'll have a game every now and then where the CPU just all of a sudden turns it up to fucking 1,000,000. We're going to go ahead and start a draft. So again, keeping in mind we want switch hitters or right-handed hitters that mash lefties. Right now it's looking like Giancarlo is the move, and I'm going to go ahead with Giancarlo. Next we got 3 lefties and Ivan Rodriguez. I didn't like using this Ivan Rodriguez card, but I think because of simply his high contact and it being a showdown, I'm fine with it for now, but I really don't like this card this early in the year. Carlos Correa is going to be the next one. Again, has 125 contact against lefties. Got 4 righties here, which is nice. Looks like it's either going to be Chas McCormick or William Contreras. Another thing that popped in my mind real quick is that because a showdown like this is happening where they're all mini bosses and you're not going to be playing the field, you can choose whatever position player you like and play them out of position because they're not going to be playing the field. So the fielding aspect of it is not going to matter. Ah, fuck it. I'm a Brewers stan. I got to go Contreras here. Going to go ahead with Jonah Heim. He's going to be our first switch hitter here. Then we're going to have Hunter Renfroe. Wow, he really took a step down. How old is he now? He's 32? He kind of is a masher, and John Birdie is a contact god, but doesn't have any pop. So I'd rather have someone who can, like, put a ball pretty deep in play. Ellie De La Cruz, he is a switch hitter, but he doesn't really do well against lefties. Patrick Bailey, on the other hand, is a switch hitter, but doesn't do good against righties. A right-handed hitter in Tommy Pham, who's kind of well-balanced. I cannot talk. It is 2:45, basically 3 in the morning at this point. I am sorry that I am stumbling over my words. Going to go ahead and look at our squad here, and I noticed that Jonah Heim was put on the bench because initially he doesn't have a position to play, but I'm just going to go ahead and put him at third. Doesn't really matter again, so we're going to edit the lineup to how we want it. There we go. And then our first one is going to be up against Zach Greinke. We are entering the game trailing by 2 runs with a runner on second. And we need to record, or take the lead, I should say, before getting 10 outs. Now, another tip to give you guys for doing these showdowns in case you haven't done them before, you typically want to be a little patient at the plate. I just realized I got to turn the friggin' volume on my monitor down. Most of the time, you want to potentially take until 2 strikes simply because you don't want to swing willy-nilly and then hit into some dumb shit like I just did, and I didn't even listen to my own advice. It's been a few hours since I've played. I played a little bit before I went to the gym, and then after I went to the gym, I had to come back, do homework. Why am I swinging? Then after I did homework, I had to go to work, and then I worked an 8-hour shift. So I'm getting back into the swing of things with MLB The Show, but I promise, stop swinging. The PCI is so huge and Zach Greinke throws it so slow that I really just want to mash it. So I'm probably not going to listen to my own advice, but I encourage you guys to be as patient as possible and to take pitches just to get their pitch count up and lower their confidence, so then they're more likely to just throw you meatballs. There we go. Carlos Correa putting it in play. Is that Renfroe? I think he has a cannon. Yeah, no, we're just going to stay 2. All right, so we trade places, and now one swing of the bat could walk it off for us. We have Giancarlo Stanton. Ooh, I got underneath it. I don't think I'm going to be able to... Oh, that another thing. I'm going to give you guys as many tips as possible just to try and help you out here. Base running, you want to be more... What's the word I'm looking for? Strategic or safe, or play on the safe side, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You don't want to try and be too aggressive with your base running because, especially with these lower out limits, your outs are very limited. So if you lose base runners and get an out put against you, you're just giving yourself more of a disadvantage here than you really need to do. Because now look at that. We have runners on first and second. We have 7 outs remaining. We're not trying to do anything crazy with base running, and now a ball in the gap is going to basically win it here. Oh my god. Hunter Renfroe just hit 3-run bomb to walk it off. And there we go. First mini boss showdown is done. So let's see. We have Luis Robert Jr. who mashes, and I mean mashes, lefties. A lefty hitter, and Brandon Nimmo doesn't do too bad himself, though. Lane Thomas, pretty speedy. And then Brandon Drury, pretty well-rounded. I think I gotta go with Luis Robert, though. His swing is just too good. Next one we're going up against is Brandon Webb, trailing 4 runs, but the bases are loaded, and we have 14 outs to take the lead. And just like that, see? This is why you don't need to sacrifice runs. Another 3-run walk-off bomb. That's 2 in a row now. And look at that. We got our first voucher. So, in theory, I could exit the showdown right now and go exchange this for 2,800 Team Affinity points in whatever program I'd like to. But I'm going to continue this all the way so that I can exchange all 4 of them at the very end. Yandy Diaz is a good one here. Oh, and we got something in XP reward path. Awesome. I'm going to go Yandy. All right, still facing righties here. We're taking on Jack Flaherty, trailing by 3 runs and runners on the corners. We have 12 outs to take the lead. This time, the reward is a Season 1, Chapter 1 Team Affinity Diamond player. So we'll be able to add a Diamond player to our team. What the fuck was that? I usually don't go into replay on Showdown, but like, that hit off Goldschmidt's wrist. That hit off Goldschmidt's hand. Or forearm, I should say. Wow. It's 104 off the bat. Does it have enough? It might be close. Oh, it was, but we walk it off. Carlos Correa hits a bomb, and we are 3rd challenge in. I believe there's 8. So once we get this next one done, we'll be halfway through. Now we do get a Justin Turner. Oh, we gotta go Justin Turner. Maxed out power, 106 contact. Yeah, we gotta do it. I was gonna take out Contreras because against righties he sucks, but at the same time he's gonna come back in. Maybe if we don't have any other good players by the time we get to the show boss. So, who knows? But we're taking on Jose Leclerc. A pretty good pitcher, honestly, at this point in the year. And look at that. We are halfway through the showdown, and it has been 12 minutes. And we get our second voucher, again, halfway through the entirety of the showdown. We get another diamond player to add to our lineup. Who will it be? We get Jose Abreu, Sean Green again, and then Gary Sanchez or David Wright. If we were hitting against righties at the end of this, Gary Sanchez would be the immediate go-to, but his contact against lefties is pretty low. Even though we're going to be on a lower difficulty, the higher the contact we can get, the better. Might go David Wright here. Actually, no, the obvious choice has to be Jose Abreu. Next one is AJ Burnett. No one on base, and we are trailing by 2 runs, but we have 14 outs to get 3. Perfect up the middle. I am going to send him simply because I'm confident in Luis Rivera's speed. I do not advise it, but do it at your own risk. Oh my God, I didn't even think that was going to be a home run. Jose Abreu walking it up. Just a couple more missions to go, and we'll be at the final boss challenge. We're starting to get 3 runs earned for our thing now. So let's see. Tony Gwynn would be a contact god, but we're going to try for some lefty killers. Mitch Haniger is going to be the one we go to. Going up against Rizel, trailing by a run with a runner on first. And we have 10 out. So if you guys are new to MLB The Show and you guys are just not that confident or not as skilled as some players in terms of taking, this would be a good one to practice taking pitches and getting the pitch count up, because with closing pitchers in showdowns, especially if they're the final boss, their stamina runs out a lot quicker. So once they get to like 40 pitches, they're more likely to start throwing you meatballs or not having as much heat on them as they normally would. So this is a good one to maybe try taking until 2 strikes if you're not that confident that you'll score. Oh, Ivan, you did not need to do Rizel like that. Just earned our 3rd voucher. We need to do 1 more mini boss mission before heading to the final one and getting the final evasive voucher. There we go. That was the word I was looking for. Gonna take Yasmani here. He's a switch hitting catcher, which is huge. The last mini boss we have to face is Emmanuel Clase, trailing by 2 runs with runners on the corners. We have 12 outs to take the lead. Hasn't stopped us before, and I doubt it'll stop us now, but another closing pitcher, so I'm going to try and practice taking pitch. Oh, wow. You throw that bat, Luis. You have fucking earned it. 117 off the bat. The last batter we're going to get to go against Billy Wagner is Kevin Youkilis. I honestly forgot what the pitcher's name was called for a sec, so my apologies on the delay. Gonna equip some different things here. Let's see. We do have some options. Now, Ivan Rodriguez has better contact but lower power, so I'm not sure how I want to play this. I mean, the team is kind of fine as is. You guys really do wow. You guys really have the power to control who you want to put in and who you feel most confident with. Although these 2 players are technically better than a couple of them that are in right now, I don't see a reason stats-wise to take them out, especially because now we are going against lefties, or a lefty. So, I don't know. It's really up to you. You do it how you want to do it. Put yourself in the best position to succeed. We're going to be down 2 runs. We have, I think, 15 outs to score 3 against Billy Wagner. Another closing pitcher, and because he's the mini boss, or the final boss, fuck, I'm going to try taking pitches. I'm going to take until 2 strikes in each at-bat just to kind of, you know, prove my point of getting the pitch count up so that they are more likely to give you better pitches to hit. Ooh, Ivan putting it in the gap. We're going to get 2 on that one, baby. Runner in scoring position after the first at-bat. Did that sound as Midwestern as I thought it did at the end? I am so sorry if that was the case. I say things in a Midwestern accent sometimes, and it, like, doesn't register for me until, like, a couple seconds after, and then I'm like, oh my God, I sound like that. Billy Wagner just threw a wild pitch, so Ivan did advance to 3rd. So if we put anything in play, Pudge is most likely scoring. Another full count. Look at that. See, if you can milk the pitch count, he's already at 12 pitches. His energy is kind of about a 1/5 of the way gone. So if you get it going like that, no shot. I am going to try and score with him. It does take away the runner in scoring position, so the clutch isn't going to be used. We will officially have our 4th Team Affinity voucher, and we will have completed the showdown. I didn't do what I said there. I didn't wait until 2 strikes. But honestly, I'm feeling confident right now. I don't want to do that. I'm also being very impatient. But, like, I'm going to reiterate, it is in your best interest, especially if you are not as confident in your MLB The Show abilities, 2 wait until 2 strikes. Oh shit, Justin Turner just walked it off casually. All right, we completed the showdown. Let's go. Mission success is 8 out of 8. We got our 4th Team Affinity voucher, so we're going to go back into the Team Affinity program. And that clip alone, I went back and looked at it. It was 26 minutes. And that was even with me taking pitches at the end. So you guys can easily get that thing done. It's one of the more quicker things you can do. It's about the same amount of time as 1 to 2 Conquest games. If you really are not feeling like playing Conquest, you can get it done pretty quickly. Go back to the top here. So what you can do is you can either exchange 1 right away, or you can exchange the 3 and then the 1. It really doesn't matter what order you do it in, because regardless, you're going to have the amount of 4. And just like that, you have gotten 11,200 Team Affinity points. So now I have even more progress in the NL East Team Affinity. I think I already have Giancarlo and Billy. So now I can get another pack on my next one. So that's just something I wanted to give to you guys. It was a little tip I thought would be useful for those of you, especially now that we're going to have the full release of the game in about a day here. So for those of you who are just getting the game and wanting to understand what's the best way to grind Team Affinity, that's one thing to help you. I still stand by what a lot of the other people in the community are saying. Do Conquest. I don't care if you don't like it. As rude and rough as that sounds, I used to not like Conquest, but that was before I really got into Diamond Dynasty. Once I really started getting into Diamond Dynasty, I realized how useful and amazing it is, because they have so many hidden packs. They help you just grind XP and grind parallels, all of that jazz. It helps you just get better as a player and have more fun and be able to accomplish more without having to go into the sweatiness of ranked, or the grind of BR, or the outright boredness. What are words? Events haven't always been the most eventful, ironically enough. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more like it and more MLB The Show 24 content, please help support the channel by hitting that red subscribe button. It is free. It is of no charge to you, and it helps keep you notified on when more videos like these go live. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next video.